Good morning and welcome back for the next lecture of the hydraulic engineering. Today we are going to start for the next lecture, next unit, that is unit number 6 from the hydraulic engineering, that is dimensional and model analysis. So the syllabus content for the dimensional and model analysis, it includes the firstly the meaning of the dimension, what is meant by dimension, then dimensional homogeneity, dimensional analysis, importance of dimensional analysis, and the methods used for the dimensional analysis, that is the Buckingham Pi theorem, and Rayleigh's method is there, but Rayleigh's method is not there for our syllabus. So we are concentrating here only on the Buckingham Pi theorem. Then in that we have to go for the applications of the Buckingham Pi theorem for the derivation of the equations or of the various parameters. Okay, and that is the analysis of the dimensions of the various parameters. Then non-dimensional numbers and their significance, difference between model and prototype, types of similarities, model laws, Reynolds and Proud laws we are going to look here in. Then distorted models, undistorted models, scale ratios and their applications. Okay, this is the part which is there in our syllabus for the discussion. Now I would like to start for the from the first point, that is a dimension. So what is meant by a dimension firstly? What does it mean about a dimension? Dimension की क्या होता है dimension? किसको हम dimension बोलते हैं? So for understanding of the dimension, I would like to go for a sketch here. Suppose that we have a square or a rectangle as a ABCD we will go for. Okay, suppose that a rectangle ABCD, exactly a rectangle is there. We are considering that, and this is A, B, C and D. Okay, this is the ABCD. So what is the A to the B and what is a C to the B? We can say is A to the B is a length. A to the B, is it a length? A width, a height. What you are finding by looking towards the sketch? A to the B, from A towards the point B. If this is the length, this is the width, and this is the height. By looking towards the sketch, I have drawn a two-dimensional view here in X and Y plane, XY axis. So exactly, it is A to the B is nothing but the length here. Similarly, B to the C, we can say the height of the this rectangle. Okay, it means that the length and the height, the length of this particular square is nothing but the dimensions, one of the dimension of this square or a rectangle. Sorry, we have considered it as a rectangle. So we can say that the length is one of the dimension for rectangle and height is another dimension for the rectangle. If you go for the three-dimensional view, then we will have the width of the rectangle also. It means that for the rectangle we have the three dimensions: length, width and height. And if you consider that now the rectangle is a jar, if this is a jar or this is a tank which is in a rectangular shape and it is filled with a water, say, then we can say that the amount of the water which is filled in this tank will have the mass as m. Will have the mass as a m. Means mass is another dimension. For whom? For the water which is contained in this container or this tank. So the length is one of the dimension for this rectangle, whereas another dimension we have considered as a height. Similarly, if you consider as a triangle or a circle, first you will go for the triangle. Suppose that this triangle as x, y and z. So we can say that this is as a base. Okay, x to y as a base and z to y as its height. So the base is nothing but the one of the dimension for this triangle and height is nothing but the another dimension for this triangle, isn't it? So we can say that the dimension is nothing but the any measurable extent, the things which we will be able to measure from a particular point to the another point, means starting from one of the end and connecting to the another end. It means in a proper direction, we can say. Means whenever we will be able to measure anything in a proper direction for a particular subject or particular object, then we can say that the thing which we are measuring in a particular dimension, particular direction, is nothing but the dimension of that particular object. म्हणजे या रेक्टँगलला आयताला आपण काय केलं, ए ते बी आपण ही याची जी काही लेंथ आहे ती मोजली. म्हणजे ए ते बी हे जे डिस्टन्स आहे ते आपण मोजू शकलो. म्हणजे मेजरेबल एक्सटेंट आहे, मोजू शकतोय आपण ते. मग स्टार्ट कुठून करणार? आयदर फ्रॉम ए टू द बी ऑर फ्रॉम बी टू द ए. ए कडून बी कडे किंवा बी पासून ए पर्यंत मोजणार. म्हणजे डायरेक्शन कशी प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन आहे. म्हणजेच प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन मध्ये जर का आपण एखादी गोष्ट जर का मोजू शकत असेल, तर त्या प्रत्येक गोष्टीला आपण ती डायमेन्शन त्या पर्टिक्युलर गोष्टीची आहे असं म्हणणार. त्या ऑब्जेक्टची डायमेन्शन असं म्हणणार. Similarly, if we consider our car, vehicle आपण जर का घेतली, तर vehicle used to have the length, width and height. Okay, again it used to have the mass also. It means that the whatever the things those we will be able to measure in a proper direction, those are considered as a dimension. Okay, so in short, now I would like to write here the dimension is nothing but the measurable extent in a proper direction. Measurable extent in a proper direction, that is called as a dimension. तर नेक्स्ट पॉइंट येतो तो म्हणजे युनिट. आता सॉरी पहिला मी युनिट मध्ये जातो, नंतर डायमेन्शन मध्ये नंतर पुन्हा येतो. तर जर का आपण लेंथ बघितलं हिअर, if you are finding here a length, then we used to measure the length either in a centimeter or meter or millimeters or foot or inch, isn't it? We used to measure the length in a centimeter, meter, millimeter, foot, inch, kilometer, etc., etc. So this centimeter, meter, millimeter, foot or the inch indicates the unit of that length. म्हणजे length is a dimension here. Length is a dimension, whereas the unit of this dimension length is nothing but the centimeter, meter, millimeter, foot or a kilometers we can say. It means that unit, if you are talking about, unit is nothing but the standard of a measurement of a physical quantities. Standard of a measurement of a physical quantity. That physical quantity may be the mass, maybe the length, maybe the time, maybe the anything else. So whatever the physical quantities those are there in, for measurement of them, whatever the standards which we are using as per the international standards or MKS or the FPS, we can say the systems of the units, we can say those standards which are used for the measurement of the physical quantities are called as a unit. For example, centimeter is a unit of the length, Newton is a unit of a force, kg is a unit of a mass, then second is a unit of a time. It means this force, mass, time, etc. are nothing but the physical quantities, and the standards those are used for measurement of them are nothing but their units. It is a Newton, kg, second, whatever it may be. So this is about the basic idea about what is meant by a dimension and what is meant by a unit. Now, if you are when we goes into depth of the dimension, then we come across the dimensions as a derived dimensions and a fundamental dimensions. So fundamental dimensions, derived dimensions, or the fundamental units and derived units, those comes from the basic units. So firstly, I would like to go for the fundamental or the primary quantities. Firstly, physical quantities. Fundamental quantities or the basic quantities. Which are those basic quantities or fundamental quantities is you are knowing about? The fundamental quantities or the basic quantities are those quantities. Fundamental quantities or the basic quantities are those quantities which are independent on the other quantities for their unit or for their dimension. Means the fundamental quantities are the quantities those are having the unit of their own. They are independent on the others. So fundamental are independent quantity on the other quantities for their units or for their dimension, we can say. For example, if you consider the length, we'll consider the length, then length is having the unit as it's a unit I would like to write as a meter. So meter is a single entity. Meter is a standard of measurement for the length. Similarly, for the mass, mass is measured in a kg, and the time, if I would like to go for, then time is measured in a seconds. Means those three quantities, if you consider, by considering those three quantities, we wish to have an other quantities. ह्या तिघांच्या कॉम्बिनेशनने आपण इतर क्वांटिटीज डिराइव्ह करतो. So those quantities which are dependent on the units or the dimensions of the length, mass, and time, those are called as a derived or a secondary quantities. Derived quantities or the secondary quantities. For example, force, velocity, acceleration, etc., etc. If you consider the force here, then force is having the unit as a Newton, which is a combination of the kg, that is a mass, into acceleration. Acceleration is having unit as a meter per second square. It means that the physical quantity, if you are looking towards the force, if you are looking towards the force as in one of the physical quantity, then it is dependent on the other physical quantities for its dimension. For getting its dimension, complete dimension, it is dependent on the other physical quantities. That is a kg. Kg is the unit of the mass, means force is dependent on the mass. Force is dependent on the length, that is a unit of the length as a meter, which you have written here. And the third one is a time. It means the force is dependent on the mass, length, and time. Okay, that is a combination of the length, mass, and time gives us a proper combination of the length, mass, and time gives us a force, and it's a unit. It means that whenever we are talking about any fundamental quantity, then in that case we can say that that quantity is independent on the other quantities for their units or dimension. Whereas the derived or the second quantities are those quantities, those are dependent on the other quantities for their unit or their dimension. म्हणजेच लेंथ जर का आपण बघितलं, लेंथचं युनिट हे डायरेक्टली मीटर आहे. मीन्स लेंथ इज वन ऑफ द डायमेन्शन which is independent on the other dimensions. जर का आपल्याला लेंथ मोजायची असेल तर पुन्हा आपल्याला दुसरी कुठली गोष्ट मोजावी लागते का रे? We doesn't require. Similarly, if you want to measure the mass, we doesn't require to measure anything else than that. If you want to measure the time, we doesn't require to measure anything else than that. But if you want to measure the force exerted by any object on another object, then we need to measure the mass of that object. We need to measure the displacement of the object, and we need to measure the time in which that displacement is going to occur. It means we need to measure three parameters here, and by combining those three parameters, we used to get the required force. Means for finding the force or getting a fundamental dimension as a force, we need to go for the different dimensions or the different units of those dimensions. And such type of the quantities or the dimensions are called as the derived dimensions or the secondary dimensions. Another example I would like to go for here, that is for the velocity. For the velocity, we are knowing to measure the velocity of the object. Suppose that the object is moving from the point A to the point B in a straight line. Object is moving from the point A to the point B in a straight line, and it is to cover a, say, as a displacement, or it is to cover a length I would like to consider as a 10 meters, and it is to require the time to cover as a 10 seconds. It means for measurement of the velocity, we need to measure the how much displacement that object gone through, and how much time that object has taken to go through the to have in that displacement. म्हणजे त्या ऑब्जेक्टची व्हेलॉसिटी मेजर करण्यासाठी आपल्याला त्या ऑब्जेक्टने एका ठराविक पॉइंट पासून दुसऱ्या पॉइंट पर्यंत जाण्यासाठी किती अंतर कव्हर केलं आणि त्याने किती वेळ घेतला, त्या दोन फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज आपल्याला मेजर कराव्या लागतात. And by getting magnitudes of those two physical quantities, we used to get the velocity. So velocity is equals to distance upon time, displacement upon time. So that is a distance is measured in a length, that is nothing but the length we can say in the terms of the units of the length, and time as a t. Means meter per second is the unit of this velocity. Means the for getting the unit, the velocity is dependent on the unit of the length or the distance or the displacement and the unit of the time. And whenever we are finding that such type of the quantities, those are dependent on the other quantities for their dimensions or for their units, those are called as the derived quantities or the secondary quantities. Whereas the quantities, those are independent on the other quantities. They are called as the fundamental quantities or the fundamental dimensions. So we have three such fundamental quantities, dimensions. Three fundamental dimensions are length, mass, and time. And sometimes we used to have a temperature also. Temperature is also independent on the other quantities, which is denoted as a theta. So for completely defining the fluid property or a motion of the any fluid, we can say, okay, or fluid flow, then in that case we need to go for the minimum three fundamental dimension, that is the length, mass, and time. Means for motion of the fluid from one place to the another place, we used to require to measure the dimension along its path, that is the length. We need to measure the time taken by this object or particles to reach that point, and we need to measure the mass of the flowing fluid, which is transferring or which is moving from the one position to the another position. This is about the fundamental dimensions and derived dimensions, basic units, derived units. So now as per that, the whatever the number of physical quantities are there, length is there, area is there, volume is there, angle is there, time, velocity, acceleration, force, mass, specific density, shear stress, etc., etc. All those physical quantities are grouped into the three categories. All those physical quantities are grouped into the three categories. So first category of the those physical quantity is a geometric quantities. So geometric quantities means those are going to deal with the dimensions, geometric dimension, that is the length, width, height, we can say. So first quantity which is included in the geometric, that is the length. Then width will be again as having the same unit, height will have the same unit, so I'm not going to do the details of that. So length, then area, then volume, and angle theta, those are generally considered as an geometric properties. Whereas the second group of the physical quantities is a kinematic, is nothing but the kinematic group. So now in kinematic group, which quantities are included or which quantities considered? It is a time, then velocity, that will be the linear velocity, angular velocity, acceleration, that will be the linear acceleration, angular acceleration, okay, then acceleration due to the gravity as a g, and discharge q. Those are considered as an kinematic quantities in a fluid flow, along with the kinematic viscosity as a nu. Nu is a kinematic viscosity that also is to consider in a kinematic quantities. Whereas the third group of the physical quantity is about the dynamic quantities. Is about the dynamic quantities. So dynamic quantities used to consider the mass, force, then weight, W, density, rho, specific weight. I would like to write here by a small w because already we have considered as a gamma here in, or a gamma we can write here. Then pressure intensity, P is equals to rho GH, that is the pressure intensity. Then power, I would like to write completely as a power. Then impulse, momentum, torque. Okay, those are the some of the quantities which I have enlisted here. Those are mostly used in a analysis of the fluid flow. In a flowing fluid, or for the analysis of the fluid flow, we need to have those many dimensions, minimum dimensions I have written over here. So by considering the dependency and all those things, we are then again we're able to group them into the fundamental and the derived one. But the whatever the all physical quantities those are existing, those all physical quantities are grouped into the three categories: geometric group, kinematic group, and dynamic group. Geometric group is a length, width, height, area, volume, angle, etc. Kinematic group includes the time, velocity, acceleration, discharge, kinematic viscosity. Whereas the dynamic group includes the mass, force, weight, specific weight, density, then pressure, power, shear stress, and another one I missed here, that is a dynamic viscosity mu. And out of all three groups, The fundamental quantities which we are considering over here, those are the mass, length, and time. Mass, length, and time are the fundamental quantities or the fundamental dimensions. Now we have discussed about the dimension. We have discussed about the basic dimension, derived dimensions. Now next point is in the line of the same, that is a dimensional analysis. Now here we are going to analyze the dimensions of the various parameters, various physical quantities. Okay, various physical quantities in terms of their units of a measurement. So why we need to go for the dimensional analysis, or why we are going to study the various parameters by considering their dimensions. So the reason, or the basic reason behind that, is to study the, is there exist any functional relationship between those parameters. Means, for example, if you consider v is equals to root 2gh, that is one of the equation which we are considering for the velocity of the flow. V is equals to under root 2 times g into h. So here we are having the three physical quantities, that is a velocity, gravity, and a height or the head. So in the dimensional analysis, what we used to do, we used to check the functional relationship between those parameters involved here in terms of their units. Means what, we have to check that, or whenever we are going to establish any new equation, or is there, if we want to check an existing equation, then we need to check that whatever the dimensions of the physical parameters, those are existing towards the left hand side and towards the right hand side, is those dimensionally correct or not. Means we need to go for an analysis of the dimensions of the involved parameters or the variables in that particular equation or the particular quantity. So for this equation, we need to check the functional relationship between those three variables. It means that right now we are knowing the relationship between v, g, and h. But if we have only that physical parameters as a v, g, and h, then we have to check those three variables such that, means what we need to check here, we need to check the dimensions of the we need to check the combination of those three variables such that there used to exist a meaningful combination. जे या तिघांचं आपल्याला meaningful combination होऊ शकतं का ते आपण चेक करायचं असतं. मग ते चेक करण्यासाठी आपण काय करतो, तर यांची युनिट कन्सिडर करतो सुरुवातीला. तर जी चं युनिट काय आपलं मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर आहे, एच चं युनिट काय आपलं मीटर आहे, आणि व्ही चं युनिट काय आपलं तर मीटर पर सेकंड आहे. म्हणजे आपण काय केलं, फर्स्टली वी हॅव कन्सिडर्ड नाउ द युनिट्स ऑफ ईच अँड एव्हरी फिजिकल क्वांटिटी हियर. Those three quantities we have considered, v, g, and h. We have written their units. Now we are going to check, we are going to combine those three units, units of those three variables, such that we will get a meaningful equation. Means to study, is there exist any functional relationship between those three variables, we are taking help of those dimensions and we are analyzing it. That is called as a dimensional analysis. For example, as we are already knowing that v is equals to root 2gh, 2 is a multiplying factor. So we will check that now. If you go for product of g and h, means product of the units of the g and h. So g is having unit as a meter per second square and h is having the unit as a meter, isn't it? Means we will get the unit as a meter square per second square, g and h is a. Similarly, if you go for the unit of the velocity, it is a meter per second. Means for getting the unit as like a meter per second, we need to go for the root of the gh. So what we will get now, if we will go for the root of a gh, then we will have the root of the unit also, that is a meter square per second square. Means we will get meter per seconds. It means that here we are getting the functional relationship between v, g, h as v is equals to root gh, but we are knowing the standard of multiplication as 2 exists therein. Means for getting the functional relationship between these three variables, what we did, we have taken their units. Okay, we have taken their units and we have checked the combination of those units, is there exist any functional relationship. That checking of the functional relationship by using the units of the involved physical quantities is called as a dimensional analysis. मग हे कुठे वापरलं जातं? For checking the dimensional homogeneity of the equations, means whenever we are deriving any new equation, then in that case we need to check that is the dimension or the unit of the quantities, those are there on the left hand side of the equation, and the right hand side of the equation means left hand side of the equality and the right hand side of the equality is the combination of the units of those physical quantities is the same or not. And for any physical relationship, here we have considered F is equals to root 2 gh. It may happen that if we consider force, then force is nothing but the mass into acceleration. That means that for checking the functional relationship of the involved physical quantities, we need to go for the dimensional analysis with the help of their units. So as like Phi is equals to root 2 gh, we'll check now for the force is equals to mass into acceleration. Right now we have assumed that this is a existing relationship. Now if you consider the units, then unit of the force is a Newton, which is the nothing but the kg into meter per second square. This is for the force. If you check for the mass, it's a unit as a kg, and if you check for the acceleration, it's a meter per second square. It means that if you go for the multiplying the m into a, you will get the unit as like the force. So what we'll do now, we'll go for the product of the mass and acceleration. So it will give us the product of their units also, that is a kg into meter per second square, which is same as like the unit of the force. It means for finding the functional relationship between the force, mass and acceleration, those three physical quantities, we have taken the help of the dimensions of the force, dimension of the mass and dimension of the acceleration, and we had developed the relation as F is equals to ma. It was previously developed, but for cross checking we have taken once again. So this is nothing but the dimensional analysis. So applications, if you are looking forward for the of the dimensional analysis, then for the any derivation of the new parameters, means any combination of the any new combination of the various parameters, we need to go for the dimensional analysis. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही एखादा रिसर्च करता आणि एखादं नवीन इक्वेशन पुट फोर्थ करता, त्या केसमध्ये आपल्याला कंपल्सरी ते डायमेन्शनल अनालिसिस करून ते डायमेन्शनल होमोजिनियस आहे की नाही ते बघावं लागतं. The dimensional analysis means what? Sorry, dimensional homogeneity means what? If you consider any equation here, that is F is equals to root 2 gh or F is equals to ma, we are finding that whatever the dimensions of the left hand side parameters and the right hand side parameters are the same one. Now here we are not written the dimensions, but if you go for the dimensional form, then we can write in the dimension for the force, we will consider firstly, whose unit is a kg meter per second square. So in the dimensional forms, that is a basic fundamental of physical quantities or the basic fundamental, the dimensions we used to go for it is a length, mass and time. So for the force we are finding kg is there, means it is a unit of the mass. It means the fundamental dimension mass is involved. So I would like to write the mass here. Only one power is there, kg. So I would like to write is a power as m1. M stands for the mass here. Then this m, this is the for the meter, that is the unit of the length. So fundamental dimension L is involved with its power as a 1. And second, that is the unit of the time, means the time is involved. So we are representing the time as a capital T in the dimensional form. So time power is a 2, but it is in a denominator, so it will be a -2. So whenever we are writing the LMT with respect to their powers in a square bracket, then in that case we used to say that this is the dimensional form of that particular physical quantity. So for the force in a bracket m1 L1 T raised to -2 indicates the dimensional form of the force. Similarly, for the velocity, if you go for, then for the velocity, the meter, that is the unit of the length, means physical quantity L is involved. It is a dimension L is there with the power as a 1. Then time is there, that is a second is there. So second is unit of the time. So T, but its a power will be the 1, but that will be the -1 when you are taking towards the numerator. And mass is not involved here. It means that in a bracket L1 T raised to -1 indicates the dimension form of the velocity. Dimensional form of the velocity, isn't it? So Those dimensional homogeneity we are discussing about. So now for the dimensional homogeneity, if you go for, that is, if the any equation which you are considering, for example, phi is equals to under root twice gh, if you are considering for, then the whatever the dimensions of the physical quantities of the left hand side must be equals to the dimensions of the physical quantities those are there at the right hand side. So I'd like to consider once again for the dimension, checking the dimensional homogeneity. Phi is equals to under root twice gh. Now for the velocity, we are knowing it's a dimension as a L1 and t raised to minus 1. L1 t raised to minus 1. This is for left hand side we have checked. Now for equals to, I am writing for the g and h, we have taken the product of them, where we have taken here g and h, okay, and we have taken their root also, meter per second, and height as a sorry, here g will have the unit as a meter and h will have that we have taken already, it is meter per second, that the unit we are getting. So for meter per second, once again the dimensional form will be meter is the unit of the length, means the dimension involved is a length with the power as 1, and t, sorry, second as a time raised to minus 1. So I would like to write here the dimensions for the right hand side as L1 t raised to minus 1. It means that the dimensions of the left hand side physical quantity are same as that of the dimensions of the right hand side of the physical quantity. And whenever such relation which exists, then that particular equation is called as a dimensionally homogeneous equation. Dimensionally homogeneous equation. Okay, this is a dimensional homogeneity. Means for any equation, if the left hand side equation. Okay. So likewise, whenever we can say that the dimensions of the left hand side physical parameters or physical quantities are same that of the physical quantities those are the right hand side, then we can say that the equation is dimensionally homogeneous. Similarly, another one example I would like to go for the dimensional homogeneity, that is a general equation which we are using in a fluid mechanics, that is a discharge is equals to area into velocity. So discharge is having unit as a meter cube per second. So in dimensional form we can say that length is involved as a meter cube is there, so length will have the power as a 3, and second is in denominator, so it will have the power as a minus 1. Mass is not there, okay, is equals to area into velocity. Area is having unit as a square meter, and the velocity is having the unit as a meter per second. It means as meter square into meter, ultimately meter cube per second, means meter cube is nothing but the L cube, that is a length cube, because this meter is involved with a fundamental dimension as a length, and second is involved with the time, so that is a t raised to minus 1. So here also we are finding that the dimensions of the cube, that is the left hand side of the equation, as L cube t raised to minus 1, which is equals to the dimensions of the physical quantities towards the right hand side, that is a into v, L cube into t raised to minus 1. Means we can say that this equation is a dimensionally homogeneous equation. Okay, now after that, next part which we are going to start for the discussion is the methods of dimensional analysis. Now directly we did the dimensional analysis here, that is by considering the units and all those things. But if you are knowing, you are not knowing the functional relationship and number of parameters are existing there, and then to establish the functional relationship between those parameters with respect to one of the parameter, we need to go for the consider their units, considering their dimensions, and they're analyzing them, so that we used to get the functional relationship between them. So to understand that functional relationship, we need to go for the dimensional analysis, the various methods of dimensional analysis. So the various methods those are involved in the dimensional analysis are generally two methods are there, that is the Rayleigh's method and Buckingham pi theorem. So methods of dimensional analysis, next part I would want to go for methods for the dimensional analysis. In short, I'm writing here. So two methods are there, Buckingham pi method and Rayleigh's method. For our syllabus, we have the Buckingham pi method. Buckingham's pi method or Buckingham's pi theorem, most of the times we used to say it. The pi method, that is the pi terms, that is a combination of the variables and that combination doesn't form any dimensional group, means that combination itself is a non-dimensional parameter, that is a pi term. So what the Buckingham or they told us, or what they said in their theorem, or what the concept they put forth, if there are n number of variables, if there are n number of variables exist, suppose that here we'll consider n is equals to 10, means total number of variables existing are 10, and we have to find out their functional relationship. Then what they state, or what they had given idea, it is firstly we have to check how many number of variables are there, means here we are considering n number of variables are there, and out of that n number variables, or from that n number variables, after getting their units and after writing their units and dimensions, if number of fundamental dimensions, if number of fundamental dimensions, means L, M and T, those are the fundamental dimensions, if number of fundamental dimensions are existing from those n number of variables are m indicates number of fundamental dimensions from those n number of variables. कशा find out करायच्या, we have to write their units as like we have written the unit for the velocity, force, mass, acceleration, discharge, area, velocity. Likewise, means if such type of the 10 variables are involved, then we have to firstly write down the units of all the 10 variables, then corresponding dimensions of each and every variable. For example, here for force we have written as m1 l1 t raised to minus 2. Likewise, we have to write down the dimensions of all the 10 variables, and from those variables we have to check out of the L, M and T, means basic fundamental dimensions, how many fundamental dimensions are existing in all the 10. बरेच वेळा असं असू शकतं की एकामध्येच, म्हणजे एकाच व्हेरिएबल मध्ये तिन्ही डायमेन्शन असू शकतात. फॉर एक्झाम्पल फोर्स मध्ये तिघ आहेत, लेंथ आहे, मास आहे, टाइम आहे. एखाद्यामध्ये फक्त एकच असू शकतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल आपण लेंथ घेतला तर लेंथ मध्ये काय असणार आहे, लेंथ मध्ये फक्त एकच फंडामेंटल डायमेन्शन असू शकते, म्हणजे एल असू शकते. टाइम दिलेला असेल आपल्याला, टाइम एक व्हेरिएबल असेल त्याच्यामध्ये एकच असू शकतं. त्यामुळे काय करायचं, फर्स्टली वी हॅव टू राईट डाऊन डायमेन्शन्स ऑफ ऑल द व्हेरिएबल्स, अँड फ्रॉम दॅट वी हॅव टू चेक हाऊ मेनी टोटल नंबर ऑफ फंडामेंटल डायमेन्शन्स आर एक्झिस्टिंग. त्याला एम असं म्हटलं. सो मॅक्सिमम वी आर कन्सिडरिंग ऍज अ 3. maximum we are considering as a 3, that is LMT. Then if we have the n, that is a 10 fundamental variables, n as a total number of variables and m as a fundamental variables, then he said that we can arrange those n number of variables into the n minus m non-dimensional and independent pi terms. In the n minus m number of pi terms, we can say n minus m pi terms, and those pi terms are the dimensionless group, or that is independent to the each other. म्हणजे जर का 10 व्हेरिएबल असतील आपल्याकडे टोटल, त्याच्यापैकी 10 पैकी 3 आपल्याकडे फंडामेंटल डायमेन्शन असतील, तर त्या 10 जणांचं ग्रुपिंग आपण n मायनस m या पाय टर्म्स मध्ये करू शकतो. दिस इज अ फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट. Then by grouping them, how to find out the that functional relationship, हे आपण असे पाय टर्म्स मध्ये रिअरेंज केले. 10 व्हेरिएबल होते, त्याच्यापैकी 3 मध्ये काय होतं, आपलं 3 हे आपल्या फंडामेंटल डायमेन्शन्स होत्या. मग त्यांना आपण 10 मायनस 3 म्हणजे 7 पाय टर्म्स मध्ये आपण ग्रुपिंग केलं. 7 पाय टर्म्स मध्ये ग्रुपिंग केलं म्हणजे प्रत्येक पाय टर्म जी तयार होते ती प्रत्येक पाय टर्म ही आपली नॉन डायमेन्शनल ग्रुप तयार करते. म्हणजे तिथं जर का काय आपण काय कन्सिडरेशन केलं, समजा फी आणि जी एच असं जर का घेतलं आपण कॉम्बिनेशन, फी आहे, जी आहे आणि एच आहे, ह्या तिघांच्या जर का आपण डायमेन्शन्स लिहिल्या तर ह्या डायमेन्शन कशा होणार, त्यांचं युनिट 0 होणार. फीचं युनिट आहे मीटर पर सेकंड, म्हणजे फी बाय जी इंटू एच लिहिलं आपण, काय होणार आहे, मीटर पर सेकंड अपॉन मीटर पर सेकंड. हे कॅन्सल होतं. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस आपण याचं ग्रुपिंग करतो तिथं आपल्याला बरोबर काय होतं, तर नॉन डायमेन्शनल पॅरामीटर्स तयार होतात. Okay, dimensionless and independent pi terms, means the pi term is a unitless, or it is assumed as this pi term is an unitless or the dimensionless term. This is the first statement. And मग हे वेगवेगळ्या ग्रुप मध्ये अरेंज करायचे, and after that we have to go for giving the powers for each and every variable, and finding that powers we are able to find out the functional relationship between those 10 number of variables those are involved in the equation. This is the idea of the Buckingham pi theorem. Now I would like to go for the procedure of the Buckingham pi theorem. That is how exactly we will be able to establish the functional relationship between the various variables those are involved in a given equation. Okay, so for that purpose we'll go for the procedure for the Buckingham pi method. The first step which is involved in the Buckingham pi method or Buckingham pi theorem, that is, firstly we have to write down all the variables. Means we have to list all variables. Okay, means if suppose that we have a 10 variables, then we have to list all the variables along with their units. जे प्रत्येकाचं आपल्याला युनिट लिहायचं आहे and dimensions. युनिट अँड डायमेन्शन, प्रत्येकाचं आपल्याला युनिट लिहायचं आहे, प्रत्येकाचं डायमेन्शन लिहायचं आहे पहिल्या स्टेप मध्ये. त्या युनिट्स आणि डायमेन्शन पासून आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे, वी हॅव टू फाइंड आउट हाऊ मेनी फंडामेंटल variables are involved, how many fundamental dimensions are involved. Suppose that here from the units and dimensions we are getting the m as a 3, means lmt, all the 3 fundamental dimensions are present. That we have to firstly check in the first step. Means what we did, we had listed all the variables, we have considered the number of variables as a n as a 10, we listed those variables, we have we have listed their units, we have listed their dimensions, means we have written the units and dimensions also, and from that we have found that how many fundamental dimensions are existing. So here for example I am considering that we have got the fundamental dimensions as a 3. So from these fundamental dimensions we used to get the involved pi terms, म्हणजे किती pi terms आपल्याकडे जनरेट होऊ शकतात ते आपल्याला इथे काढता येतं. How to get that? It is a pi is equals to n minus m. So n is a 10, m is a 3. So we can say that for this particular equation we will have particular combination, particular available physical quantities, we will have the number of the pi terms as a 7. पहिल्या स्टेप मध्ये आपण काय केलं, किती पाय टर्म्स आपल्याकडे जनरेट होऊ शकतात ते आपण बघितलं. तर सेकंड स्टेप मध्ये काय केलं जातं, इन अ सेकंड स्टेप वी हॅव टू फाइंड आउट द रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल्स. Okay, means we have to select the m variables out of this which are to be going to be a repeating variables. The repeating variables means what? If we have the pi terms as a pi 1 to 7, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 up to the pi 7, तर याच्यामध्ये काय असतं की प्रत्येक पाय टर्म मध्ये एक इंडिपेंडंट व्हेरिएबल असतो आणि बाकीचे सगळेच्या सगळे आपले रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल असतात. तर रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल म्हणजे काय असतं की रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल्स आर दोज व्हेरिएबल्स दोज रिप्रेझेंट्स द geometric property, kinematic property and dynamic property, which represents the geometric property, dynamic property and kinematic property. I would like to write here so that you will get an idea what I want to say. In the previous slide and in the previous part we have discussed about the grouping of the physical quantity. There we have grouped into the geometric, kinematic and dynamic. Means here in repeating variables we have to consider that one of the repeating variable must represent the geometric property, another one must represent the kinematic property, and the third one, minimum I'm talking about, must represents the dynamic property. So for example, for geometric property we'll consider here as a length. So length represents the geometric property. Okay, then for the kinematic property, we can say, so kinematic properties those we are considering herein. Okay, suppose that the kinematic property is we are considering as a velocity or the rotations we can say m, and the dynamic property as a force. Okay, dynamic property as a force, or the dynamic property must be the fluid property, we'll consider density or the dynamic viscosity. It means that out of available 10 variables we have found out the 3 variables which represents the geometric property, representing the kinematic property, representing the dynamic property. It may happens that in out of the 10 variables, the geometric variables representing geometry property may exist one more than one. Means length used to be exist, width used to exist, height used to exist. बरेच वेळा काय होतं, जॉमेट्रिक प्रॉपर्टीज जो व्हेरिएबल कन्सिडर करताना तिथं लेंथ असू शकते, विड्थ असू शकते, हाईट असू शकते. कायनेमॅटिक प्रॉपर्टी मध्ये लिनियर व्हेलॉसिटी असू शकतो, अँग्युलर व्हेलॉसिटी असू शकतो, डायनामिक प्रॉपर्टी मध्ये डेन्सिटी असू शकते, म्यू असू शकतो, काही असू शकतो. मग त्या केसमध्ये फॉर सिलेक्शन ऑफ आयदर वी हॅव टू सिलेक्ट द लेंथ ऑर द विड्थ or the height, we have to select the n or phi or omega or mu or density. Another criterion they had given, that is when you are selecting the number of repeating variables, then in that case we have to check that when those variables will be get combined, when those variables will be get combined, they should not to form any non-dimensional parameter there. म्हणजे ज्या वेळेस आपण ते तीन व्हेरिएबल कन्सिडर करतोय, त्यावेळेस त्या व्हेरिएबल्सनी ज्यावेळेस आपण त्यांना कंबाईन करणार, त्यावेळेस त्या व्हेरिएबल्सनी कोणताही डायमेन्शन कोणताही नॉन डायमेन्शनल पॅरामीटर तयार नाही केला पाहिजे. म्हणजे त्यांचं कॉम्बिनेशन केल्यानंतर ना युनिटलेस नाही व्हायला पाहिजे, डायमेन्शनलेस नाही व्हायला पाहिजे. आणि दोन प्रॉपर्टीज व्हेरिएबल्स घेत असताना दोन व्हेरिएबल हे सेम डायमेन्शनचे नसायला पाहिजे आहे. म्हणजे लेंथ आणि विड्थ आपण घेऊ शकत नाहीये, लेंथ आणि हाईट आपण घेऊ शकत नाहीये. लिनियर व्हेलॉसिटी, अँग्युलर व्हेलॉसिटी वी कांट कन्सिडर. मीन्स वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर आयदर ऑफ देम. म्हणजे आयदर ऑफ देम अँड व्हेन देअर विल द ग्रुपिंग, then in that case, in that grouping, they should not to form any non-dimensional parameter. ह्या काय झाल्या कन्सिडरेशन झाल्या फॉर सिलेक्शन ऑफ दी non-dimensional repeating variables. Means we have the three repeating variables, that is L, N and mu. हे आता प्रत्येक ह्याच्यामध्ये येणार, प्रत्येक पाय टर्म मध्ये ते अपीयर होतात. सो L, N and mu I have written over here. And along with those three repeating variables, we used to have one non-repeating variable. आणखीन एक कन्सिडरेशन काय सांगितलं त्यांनी की रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल सिलेक्ट करताना की रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल घेत असताना दॅट रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल शुड नॉट बी द डिपेंडंट व्हेरिएबल. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इन द इक्वेशन ऑफ v is equals to under root twice gh, phi is dependent on g and h. It means that we should not to consider phi as a repeating variable. phi हे आपण रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल घ्यायला नको आहे. वी शुड नॉट टू कन्सिडर दॅट. ते घ्यायचं नाहीये. मग कोण घेणार तुम्ही? gh वी कॅन गो फॉर. लाईकवाईज दे हॅव गिव्हन अन आयडिया. म्हणजे ह्या रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल बरोबर आता रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल 3 गेले आपल्याकडचे. आपल्याकडे शिल्लक किती राहिले? 7 व्हेरिएबल राहिले, बरोबर आहे का? 7 व्हेरिएबल आपल्याकडे शिल्लक राहिले. मग ते 7 व्हेरिएबल प्रत्येक पाय टर्म मध्ये एक एक देऊन टाकायचं. समजा आपण काय दिलं, इथं फोर्स दिला, इथं काय दिलं आपण, समजा जी दिला ऍक्सलरेशन, इथं आपण डेन्सिटी दिलं, समजा इथं आपण आणखी एक क्वांटिटी डिस्चार्ज दिला. लाईकवाईज वी हॅव टू गो फॉर द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल द टर्म्स. हे आपल्या काय झाल्या 7 पाय टर्म्स तयार झाले. दिस इज द सेकंड स्टेप. तर नेक्स्ट स्टेप मध्ये काय करायचं आपल्याला? इन द थर्ड स्टेप वी हॅव टू फॉर्म द जनरल इक्वेशन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ द पाय टर्म्स. ते आपण तयार केलेलं आहे. ओके. अँड विच विल हॅव द combination of the repeating variables and one of the non-repeating variable. हे रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल आणि एक आपलं नॉन रिपीटिंग व्हेरिएबल आहे विथ अननोन पॉवर्स. अननोन पॉवर म्हणजे काय? वी कॅन राईट हिअर एज a1, b1, c1 आणि याची पॉवर 1 दिली जाते. सिमिलरली फॉर द सेकंड पाय टर्म, लेंथ इज देअर, सो पॉवर विल बी a2, for n2 b2 and for there's as a c2. Likewise, the last pi term will have the powers for the L as a7, n as a sorry b7 and mu will have the c7. Likewise, the powers we have to put forth, and after giving the powers for the each and every repeating variable and non-repeating variable in their dimensional form. कशामध्ये लिहायचं आपल्याला त्यांना? इन द डायमेन्शनल फॉर्म, मीन्स इन द टर्म्स ऑफ द LMT. ओके. देन वी हॅव टू इक्वेट इट विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द 0. म्हणजे ही जी पाय टर्म जे आपण म्हटलं की नॉन डायमेन्शनल पॅरामीटर आपण ज्याला म्हटलं होतं यांच्या कॉम्बिनेशनचा, म्हणजे काय असणार? दॅट विल बी इक्वल्स टू द पॉवर्स ऑफ द L as a 0, power of the M as a 0 and power as a T as a 0. Means this pi term is a non-dimensional parameter. आणि या प्रत्येक 0 बरोबर इकडच्यांचं कॉम्बिनेशन करून आपल्याला कम्पेअर करायचं आहे. अँड वी हॅव टू फाइंड आउट दी quantities or the magnitude of each and every constant. And from that constant, after getting those constant, again we have to put for those constant here. Suppose that for this pi1 term, I would like to go for pi1 is equals to L n mu and a force is there, and we got L as I said 2, n we got as a -3, mu we have got as an power as a -4, and yep we got the power as a say -6. Time being I'm considering, means we will get the relation here as a L square upon n cube into mu raised to 4 into f raised to 6. This is the functional relationship which we are getting in a first pi term, pi1. So likewise, you will get the functional relationship up to the 7th pi term. After getting all those pi terms, we have to write the functional relationship as a function of the pi1, pi2 up to the pi7. Means we have to combine all those parameters, all those pi terms, and in that we used to get the last combination, that is the combination of the all the variables those are involved in a particular equation or particular phenomenon. This is about the procedure of the Buckingham pi theorem. In the next lecture, we will go for the application here with one of the example, so that you will get a clear idea, that is how to apply the Buckingham pi theorem and how to establish the functional relationship. Okay, thank you.